Good morning, Dr. Bakot again. And this time we will be discussing on concept maps. I'm sure you already have an experience with doing concept map during first year, but I saw some of the map that uh, you have been doing, and they seem quite comprehensive. And it is understandable because you are actually making concept maps on basic topics. But when you are in third year, you will be actually making concept maps on specific diseases because we are now dealing with clinical cases. So, what are concept maps? They are visual representations of information, and they can take several forms like graphic organizers, flowcharts, tables, Venn diagrams, timelines. I'll show them to you later on. They are especially useful for students who learn better visually, and they work well for classes or content that have visual elements or in times when it is important to see and understand relationship between different things. Uh, so they are typically hierarchical and then with sub-concepts. So you have the main idea and then it branches out to show that the main idea can be broken down into specific topics. So this can be used to analyze information and compare and contrast. And they are a powerful study strategy because they help you see the big picture because they start with higher level concepts and they help you chunk information based on meaningful connections. In other words, knowing the big picture makes details more significant and easier to remember. So this is an example of a graphic organizer. And the one in the middle, the big rectangle in the middle, is the main concept. No? And the arrows show the direction. Sometimes you put linking words or linking phrases so that you will know the relationship. For this graphic organizer, you can probably use the one on the left as an, uh, an etiologic process, no, or a pathophysiologic process, leading to the main concept, which is the disease, and then the blocks on the right. You can put the clinical manifestations, for example, of the disease. So this big concept will lead to these concepts of the physical examination or the management strategy. So this is a flowchart, and this is particularly helpful for processes like where you have steps, like in a procedure. So you can use this as a concept map to represent processes or procedures. And the table is particularly helpful. If you notice in your books, there are a lot of tables. In our time, there were no tables, but probably because learners are more visual, so they found out that learning can be more productive if we have visual representations and they organize them into tables. So if you're a smart learner, you study the tables in your Harrison's or whatever books you have. And Venn diagrams can be used to contrast and compare. I have an example in the the following slide. This is a timeline, and this can represent, let's say, for example, a patient's course, medical history, starting from, for example, the start of the symptom and then going into the admission And then when the patient is discharged, or until the time when the patient follows up and has recovered. So this will be nice format to use in showing when you are presenting the the course in the ward. So as I've said, this is the Venn diagram can be used to compare and contrast, no, uh, the 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 differences and then the similarities of two concepts. So this is another linear um, map uh, illustrating the relationship between ideas that are a part of a process. And this example illustrates the causes and effects for an event, as exemplified here, civil war. So causes on the left side, right side of the screen, and then effects on the left side of the screen. This example illustrates the relationship between main idea. The main idea here is the climate change and then the supporting details. So this can be used when you're illustrating a disease with a disease as a main idea, and the supporting details may be the pathophysiologic mechanisms, clinical presentations, etiology, and stuff like that. Outlining is a less visual form of concept mapping, but it might be the one you're most familiar with. Outlining may be starting with high level course concepts and then drilling down to fill in details. I think this is the one that you used for studying, no? Probably in first year, this is how you made it. Um, uh, Creating an outline to start your studying will allow you to assess your knowledge base and figure out what gaps you need to fill. So, concepts are usually enclosed in boxes or circles, and they go from top to bottom in a hierarchical fashion, or like a spider. No, like there's a central idea, and then it radiates outwards. The main concepts are usually in a bigger box or circle at the top or in the center, and then the other concepts will just branch down or radiate out. So the verbs of the branches connecting the concepts are called linking words or linking phrases, and this will signify the relationship between two concepts. Sometimes when we make the concept map, it's just linear, like it just goes down, and there are no the relationship is just one way. So relationships can be bidirectional, and it also can cross, can be like a horizontal, no? So it can connect concepts. Uh, for example, etiologic pathophysiologic processes can be connected to a particular clinical manifestation, and then connected to a particular treatment plan or management plan. So this is another format for concept map. And here's another one showing the linking words or linking phrases. And this one shows interrelationships. See, it's not just linear. It shows connection between this concept, more energy, and exercising. Okay, a helpful way to determine the context of your concept map is to choose a focus question. So you start with the main idea or topic, and then once this is decided upon, this will help you in deciding uh, the structure of your concept map or the format of your concept map. Once you determine the main idea, Then you determine the key concepts that connect and relate to your main idea. And then you rank them from the most general, inclusive concept uh, to the smaller, more specific concepts and linking them together. Then, once the basic links between the concepts are created, you add cross links. Cross links connect concepts in different areas of the map, just like the example I showed you regarding depression. To further illustrate the relationship and strengthening understanding and knowledge on the topic. This is very important, especially now that you are uh, trying to understand clinical cases. So, what is usually being done is, let's say, for example, um, there is a disease, particular disease, and then you just put the sub concepts, let's say, under pathophysiologic mechanism, and then you have your clinical manifestations, and then you have your management, which are separated from each other. But when you have cross links, you actually connect the pathophysiologic mechanism with a particular clinical manifestation and then a specific management strategy. So this is really very helpful. That's why I want to put emphasis on this, that you need really to learn how to do this. Okay, so how do you get started on making a concept map? First, you identify a concept, and then from memory, you try creating a graphic organizer related to this concept. You have a lot to choose from. And then studying from memory is an excellent way to assess what you already understand. And it will also help you to know what you need to review. So once you already have the basic concepts laid out, you can go through your lecture notes and other resources to fill in any gaps. If there you need to put on more concepts or to put more sub concepts. And then once you have identified the sub concepts, then you can focus on how these are related by creating cross links and linking links and cross links. Okay, so for your output, you need to make a concept map explaining the rationale for the signs and symptoms of a given case that I will send to your leader, and then link it to the management. You will have a 5-minute presentation later during our Q&A meeting. Uh, uh, you will present it, at least one lang ang mag-present per group. So, to present the output of the group. Okay? So, we'll see you later. Bye.